Close your eyes. Let the weight of the day slowly melt away from your shoulders. Sink deeper into your bed, into your breath. Let the hush of night wrap around you like a soft woolen blanket. The air is cool, now still, tinged with sea mist. You are safe, you are warm, you are here. Take a long, slow breath in and let it gently fall away. Again, ... Inhale peace, exhale thought. Feel the slow rhythm of your chest rising and falling like waves, like wind, like a quiet heartbeat carried across time. Tonight, we drift gently towards sleep with the story of a forgotten coastal village wrapped in fog and silence. Our story tonight begins with a Watchtower's last flame. Voice transitions into a slightly narrative tone. Still slow, still hushed. With soft atmospheric description throughout, it begins in a village known only on the oldest sea map. A place once etched with ink and salt, nestled between jagged cliffs and rolling fog banks. The people here live quiet lives, fishers, menders, lighthouse keepers, and watchers of the flame. Each night, just as twilight fades into indigo, a single figure climbs the winding stone steps of the old watchtower, his lantern flickering in the dusk. His name is Thomlin, the village watchman. For 30 years, he has kept vigil at the tower's peak, listening to the sea and sky lighting the final flame before sleep claims the coast. He does not speak much, but he hears everything: the hush of tide slipping over rock, the rustle of gull-feathered wings, the mournful sigh of the wind threading through chimney tops. Tonight, the air is different, still but expectant. A kind of hush that makes the stars seem slower to appear, as though even the heavens are waiting. Thomlin's boots tap softly on the ancient stone stairs. Click, ... pause, ... click, ... Each step takes him higher until mist surrounds him like a second skin. The watchtower's worn stones are wet with evening fog, glistening like memory. His lantern flame sputters, then steadies its soft golden light, dances along the damp walls. Up here, you can smell everything the sea carries: salt, driftwood, rain-soaked moss, and the far-off hint of burning pine, where hearts glow behind shuttered windows far below. He reaches the top, the tower's iron brazier old, as the village itself waits in stillness, blackened and cold from the night before. Thomlin kneels, opening a small satchel. Within it, wrapped in oilcloth, lies a single bundle of dry kindling. He sets it gently in the brazier, as if laying down something sacred. And perhaps he is. For in times long before, this flame was not merely lighted, was warning. When ships approached, when storms brew beyond the horizon, the watchers would signal with fire. A spark to the sky, a dance of flame to guide or warn. It is said the sea herself watched these towers, whispering secrets only the wind could carry. Thomlin knows this. He feels it in his bones as he strikes flint to steel. See, the flame cut, and slowly, quietly, the last light of the village rises. Not bright, not fierce, but steady. It flickers softly in the mist, ember and low, sending its warmth across the empty sea. Thomlin settles beside it, cloak drawn close. He is a lone buck, not lonely. The flame speaks to him in ways words cannot. Each crackle tells a tale, each flicker a memory he remembers. The first time he climbed this tower just a boy, knees scraped, heart thumping like a drum. He remembers a storm that took the old captain's ship Howe. The flame burned all night, and the village sang her name at dawn. He remembers a woman with golden braids and wind-chapped cheeks, who once climbed with him, laughing, to watch the stars from this very perch. Now, it is quiet. Now, there is only wind and memory. He leans back against the stone, letting the firelight paint soft shapes on the inside of his eyelids. Below him, the village dims. Hearts gutter out. Candles flicker their goodbyes. Children dream of dolphins and driftwood castles. And high above it all, the flame keeps its watch. Sometimes, Thomlin hears the waves speak, not with words, but with rhythm. The way they push and pull, as if breathing with the earth, as if they too Remember those who came before. He lets himself drift with the sound, soft and deep, like lullabies hummed across oceans. Let yourself feel the warmth of the flame. Let it flicker behind your eyes. Imagine the smell of salt air and pine smoke. Hear the wind wrap around stone, gentle as a shawl. There is no rush. There is no time here. Just the tower, the flame, the watchman's breath, and your own. Inhale slowly and exhale even slower. Let the watchtower hold you. Let the sea carry your thoughts far beyond the fog. Far and far away. Until nothing remains but stillness and sleep. Soft whispering continues. Let yourself stay where the mist is quiet, where the flame still dances, and the world feels light as a lullaby. Our story drifts onward now gently, like a boat rocked by tide. The fire burns low, but it does not fade. Thumlin watches it from behind heavy lids, his breath slow and even. This is not a fire for warmth. It is a memory signal, a kind of ancient promise kept between the village and the sea. Below him, the tide begins to turn. Out beyond the cliffs, something stirs, a breath from the deep. Not a storm, no, not tonight, but an old echo rising. The sea remembers. She remembers every fire that ever burned in this tower. She remembers every lantern lit in storm's teeth. She remembers the lullabies sung by sailors lost to foam, and those still sung softly by their kin on shore. Thumlin feels it in his chest, something vast and invisible moving through the dark. He does not fear it. He nods to the sea, a quiet greeting, and closes his eyes for a moment longer. Behind him, the flame wavers, then steadies. In the village, all is still. No shutters bang, no dogs bark. Just a faint creak of rigging swaying in the harbor and the harsher wind between thatched rooftops. Even the waves seem to soften, as if they too are listening. Somewhere in the silence, the voice of an old tale begins to stir. It hums low in the bones, like the distant sound of a ship's bell, soft and far, like a dream remembered just before waking. It tells of the first flame. Not this tower, not this village, but one far older, farther still on an island now, swallowed by time and sea. Back then, watchers were chosen by starfall and tide. They were trained not only to light fires, but to listen to the wind, to the slow stories the moon whispered across water. They said when a watch's flame burned true, it kept the darkness from creeping inland. Not just storms, not just ships, but the unseen, the shadows that walked in fall, and the fears that stirred in sleep. And so Thumlin's nightly vigil, though quiet, is sacred. It is the last note of a song nearly forgot. He shifts slightly on the stone, pulling his cloak tighter. Above, the stars have begun to peek through gaps in the fog, silver and scattered, like crushed pearls against velvet. He can name them all. He was taught their names by the old keeper before him, and she by the one before that. Every star has a mirror in the sea, she'd said once. Her voice is soft as sea foam, and every flame its echo in the sky. Thumlin smiles faintly. The fire crackles, a soft pop of resin, a whisper of warmth. Now imagine you are with him, wrapped in your own cloak, knees drawn up beneath you, resting on the cool stone ledge of the tower. You can feel the night air on your cheeks, damp but kind. You watch the flame dance. You listen to the breath of the sea. There is no hurry, no thought, only now, only this. But this time, the song did something different. It moved through the air like a feather caught in a sunbeam. And it carried you not away, but inward. You're no longer in it. You are floating still, but not stuck. Safe, but not bound. Above you, stars, blink like lullabies. Beneath, a forest murmurs in its sleep, leaves rustling with the breath of owls. Somewhere distant, a brook giggles over stones, its voice like bells wrapped in moss. And all around, the bard's song weaves through you, not playing to you, but with you. As if your own heartbeat has found a rhythm in it, as if you always knew this lullaby, but forgot until now. So hush, oh hearts that wander far, come rest beside the twilight star. The night is kind, the wind is low, and all the roads now homeward go. You are no longer listening. You are within the song. Your breath has swooped each exhale like a wave against the shore. You are weightless, cradled in melody, held in hush. Back in the inn, the bard slowly quieted his strings, one note, then another, then silence, not the empty kind, the full kind. The kind of silence that swells like dusk before the stars bloom. He laid his rebeck down gently, draped a soft cloth over its face, like tucking in an old friend. Then he rose. Only the faint creak of the stool beneath him gave him away. He walked to the hearth, paused, and stared into the flames, not to watch them, but to remember something long ago. And then he smiled. Not a big smile. Not for anyone else, just the kind you wear when you know the story ended well, he whispered. More breath than voice, greater than sleep well, little world. May all your dreams be so. Then, cloak drawn close, he stepped into the shadows and was gone. But the warmth stayed, the hush stayed, the song stayed, in the rafters, in the floorboards, in your heart. And now, you too may rest, just as you are, softly held in the folds of story and stillness. No need to move, no need to think, only this, the hush, the hush, the hush. Soft fading whispers, sleep now. You're wrapped in story, you're safe, let go, sleep. And sometimes, if the night is quiet enough, they surface. They rise like mist and curl into your thoughts just before sleep. You hear the bell, too. You feel it in your chest. A soft vibration, like something familiar you cannot name. It does not frighten you. It comforts as if some piece of you was always meant to hear it. You watch the flame. It flickers in time with the waves. Now, Thumblin watches it too, but he is fading. His eyes are full of stars, his breath long and low, like a lull in the tide. And in that breath, stories come, not told aloud, but known. He remembers the tale of the lost boat who lit a lantern every night for 50 years, waiting for his brother to return from a voyage never finished. They say the flame burned so long it left a permanent glow in the rocks where it stood. And when fog rolled in, it glowed again, faintly, like a ghost still watching. Or the tale of the fire moth. Tiny creatures drawn not to heat, but to hope. They'd dance around the Watchtower flames on Midsummer's Eve, leaving trails like golden thread in the air. A good sign, they said. A sign the sea would stay. Thomlin saw them once, long ago. He remembers how they spiraled upward, toward the stars like prayers carried on wings. The wind shifts again, and this time it carries something else. A scent, old but sweet, lavender and pine, and the soft smell of wool warmed by fire. You breathe it in, feel it curl around you like an embrace. In your mind's eye, you see the inside of a stone cottage, a fire in the hearth, a wooden chair, a steaming cup. You feel it, though you are not there. Just the idea of it is enough to make your chest soften, to make your thoughts turn quiet and drowsy again. Thomlin opens his eyes only a little. The flame is still there. Still watching, but smaller now. Gentler. He leans forward and breathes a final whisper into the brazier not burning. Just pray. I thank you. Perhaps a farewell. Then he folds his hands, closes his eyes again, and listens. Whisper, listen with him to the waves below, to the stones sighing, to the sky breathe in, to the last flame burning. Let the hush become your heartbeat. Let the wind carry your thoughts. You are floating now, beyond the tower, beyond the cliff, beyond even the sea. Just mist and sky and warmth. The flame got us once, then rises just a little like it knows, like it wants to linger. It will stay until you sleep, until your thoughts fall fully into the dark, until your dreams find their shoreline. Let them. Let yourself go. In the village, the first candle is lit to welcome dawn. It flickers inside a cottage window, barely a glimmer. But it answers the flame in the tower. One light to another, one soul to another, just as it has always been. Thumblin smiles without opening his eyes. The bell does not ring again. The wind does not rise. Everything is still. Everything is ready. And you are ready to let go, to drift, to sleep. The flame watches, the sea sings, the story rests. Whispered as the final lullaby closes. You are saved. You are seen. You are still. Let sleep come gentle like the last flame in the Watchtower. Quiet step, sacred. Good night.